And good evening, everybody. We'd like to welcome you to Texas League Baseball here in South Texas. And now, here is the voice of the San Antonio Missions, Johnny Baker. Well, thank you there, Bobby. We'd like to welcome you to Saturday Night Baseball live here on the show, as it is the fifth game of our six-game set between the visiting Northwest Arkansas Naturals and your San Antonio Missions. Well, sit back and relax after the ball game. Enjoy the best fireworks show, courtesy of Dr. Pepper and West Creek Trail Rides. These two teams will meet up face-to-face one more time this season, and so far, gotta say, it was a best six-game series we have ever had with these two ball clubs. And I got to say, a real good one. After Sunday's game, Missions will head to Springfield to take on the Springfield Cardinals in a six-game set. And then it's back home for one final homestand. And that is right, guys. That is between the visiting Midland Rockhounds when they come to town. And so far, that will pretty much be it for 2026 here in San Antonio. Missions head to Amarillo after that. They'll take on a final six-game series in Water Ridge Field there in downtown Amarillo. And then after that, regular season comes to an end. Playoff rounds will commence right after that. So yes, get your playoff tickets now as we celebrate four ball clubs have made it to the Texas League playoff rounds. That is the Frisco Rough Riders, Amarillo Sod Poodles, Tulsa Drillers, and the Arkansas Travelers. Our four teams will compete against each other for this year's Texas League title, and so far, pretty good on that. Go online now at samissions.com, purchase and print your tickets from home. You can also follow the Missions or Northwest Arkansas or any of your favorite AA Texas League team with the Bally Live app, and also here on YouTube Live here in YouTube. Well, anyway, let's get off to our pregame show. I'm joined in the booth by my partner and friend, Bob. How you doing there, Bobby? Doing good there, Johnny. How are you? Doing good. Well, I got to say, last night, the Northwest Arkansas Naturals won the game by a one-run, and so far, a pretty good one as they defeat San Antonio by the final score of 2-1. And so far, Bobby, Northwest Arkansas in a one-game winning streak, and so far trying to stretch a 2 games tonight, and so far pretty good on that. Can you tell us more about what Northwest Arkansas plans to do tonight? Well, they need to put the ball in play. I mean, that is first on the agenda, and so far, the base hits, the home runs, and getting on base, that's what really matters in the sport of baseball, and so far, pretty good on that. That is for sure. Great examples right there from Bob, and so far, pretty good. Well, anyway, San Antonio looking pretty good after 2 nights being in their Flying Chanclas gear. Missions back to their normal home whites tonight and into tomorrow as well, as we get ready to conclude this 6-game series against the visiting Northwest Arkansas Naturals. And so far, pretty good. Well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and conclude this pregame show, and I'll take you live down to the ballpark here for tonight's contest. 5th of the 6-game series between Northwest Arkansas and San Antonio. Just a beautiful, hot, humid evening, and so far our two teams about set to go for this game, and so far pretty good. Well, tonight our right-hander for San Antonio is Hans Kraus. We look at him, he had a 1 hold on that. His ERA 2.84, 31%, 8 strikeouts. 167 over a 152. He's had a 4-3 record and 25 games, which that is pretty good for San Antonio. Center fielder is Aspel Gonzalez, as we'll lead it off here for the first inning for Northwest Arkansas. 3 words, let's play ball. In the first pitch, down ground ball, and that's a base hit straight away past the third baseman. And Northwest Arkansas early game on as they get a leadoff hit to start this game. Boy, that third baseman tried to stop it, but no luck there as he tried to get in there and stop the baseball from a base hit. Here's Javier Vaz. Here's the pitch to him, and that's going to be right there. And he overshoots it. And that is something you don't want to do. Now first and third. And San Antonio early on gets applied an error. And you look who got the error. That is the first baseman, Romeo Sanabria. Ouch. Yep. He overshoot the baseball. That could have been an easy double play. Now first and third and nobody out. Here's Connor Scott. Not the thing that you want to do in Texas League baseball is early head on. They get the error, and that one is going to pulverize them up to the left field, and that is gone. A 3-run homer by Connor Scott. Oh, boy. That error comes back, and it haunts them. Boy, I tell you what, that will really put a whooping on you after that one. Yeah, I gotta say, Johnny, that was a really good home run by Connor Scott. 375 over a 97.8 mile per hour fastball. Now Northwest Arkansas leading 3-0 here in the first inning. Austin Charles still lead it off, and he'll take a strike, but they'll challenge that one. And the call is still going to be upheld for a no-ball, 1-strike count. Boy, fans in Northwest Arkansas are really jumping for joy now as a 3-run shot by Connor Scott really got them satisfied with that one. They're like a little kid in a candy store nearly. No kidding. 1 ball, 1 strike to Austin Charles, the 4-hole hitter. And that one is outside. The count now 2-1. Everybody going tonight? Looking pretty good, but there is a thunderstorm chance there for All-American Ballpark in North Little Rock, Arkansas, where the Arkansas Travelers play ball. They take on the Springfield Cardinals. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And that one is yanked foul. So still hanging on is Charles. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one's going to be line drive, and that is through for the base hit. All the way to the wall as center fielder Kai Roberts tries to get his hands on it. And that will be a no-out double. Youch. First a 3-run homer by Connor Scott. Now this double comes in. Boy, what's next? It's like a circus tonight. No kidding there, Bobby. Brett Squires, the first baseman. Nope, he's the second baseman. Okay, well, scratch that. That one pops foul. It's 0-1. No, he's the first baseman. Ugh. Well, stupid me. No, you're not stupid. Just look more closely next time around there, Bobby. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And that one ricochet foul, 0-2. Boy, I really sure hope that Hans Krause is going to get a strikeout. No doubt about it. He needs to focus on the strike zone and deliver his punches. 0-2. Swing! Got him looking. And already a good thing as the first strikeout. And boy, howdy, these boys off to a good start for Northwest Arkansas. Gonzalez, Vascott, Charles Squires, Cozingham, Mitchell, Vasquez, and Nivens rounded out for the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Sam Cozingham coming in now. And he'll take a strike inside. It's 0-1. Runner at second, one man down here in the first inning. Northwest Arkansas 3-0. Here is the 0-1 offering. And that is in for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. The count now for number 18. The 0-2. Outside slider. Boy, that was out of the zone, 1-2. Go ahead to give some scores. Amarillo, boy, they are in the driver's seat now. 3-0 against Tulsa. 1-2. And that's going to be right there. Ground ball up to the second baseman, Castañon, as he delivers it to Sanabria. And that is out number 2. But runner from second goes to third. And the fourth potential run for Northwest Arkansas, just 90 feet away. Here's the catcher, Blake Mitchell. Mitchell coming in, ready to go from the windup stance. And a pitch. And that one is in for strike 1. It's 0-1. I'll tell you one thing there, Johnny. Hanscraft's doing pretty good, but 17 pitches through the first inning. That is just an absolute wow right there. Indeed. No balls and 2 strikes to count now to him. Here's the 0-2 offering. High in the air, straight away up to the shortstop, Francisco Acuna. And he makes the play, finally getting the half inning out of the way. Connor Scott gets 3 runs, 3 hits. San Antonio, 1 error by the first baseman, Romeo Sanabria. And we now hit for the bottom half of the first inning. Northwest Arkansas leading it 3-0. We're back for the bottom of the first here in San Antonio. Mission's coming to bat right after these messages. Well, we're just about set to go for the bottom half of the first inning for the Missions right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Right-hander Beck Way is on the mound for Northwest Arkansas. Four-seam circle change, changeup, and slider. Will get on the mound as he starts here tonight for Northwest Arkansas. The shortstop Francisco Acuna will lead it off for the Missions. As we'll lead it off here in the bottom of the first inning for San Antonio. That one is a high pop-up straight away to the left field area. He calls off the shortstop and center fielders as he had it on his way there to the left field. Well, Acuna, Roberts, Murphy, Sanabria, Carpathio, Dongan, Wills, Linares, and Castañon rounded out for San Antonio tonight. So far, a pretty good lineup for the Missions, as always. And it's been like that since opening day of 2026. Guy Roberts coming in, the center fielder. And that one is pelted high in the air, straightaway center on the warning track nearly, as he'll make the play for out number 2. Well, the left fielder is Kai Murphy. Boy, this series, he has really been on fire. But most evidently, pretty good for the Missions. Right there, ground ball, and he stops it with his body weight. And the pitcher, Beck Way, gets on first to stop him. And that ends the inning. No runs, hits, or errors, or nobody left on for San Antonio. And it's on now to the second. Northwest Arkansas in front, 3-0. Second inning set to go is Daniel Vasquez about set to go for the Naturals when we come back here in this one. Well, set to go for the second inning for Northwest Arkansas right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you there, Bobby. Daniel Vasquez about set to go as we lead it off top of 2. 8-9-1 due up against Hans Kraus. Leadoff starting pitcher for San Antonio. Here's the pitch. And that one is in for a strike, but Vasquez says no to it. And that's going to still be upheld for 0-1 the count. So far, a pretty good night thus far for Northwest Arkansas, having 3 runs on 3 hits. San Antonio gets the error on Romeo Sanabria as he overshoots it straight to the second baseman, which apparently that was a big boo-boo right there. A boo-boo? What do I look like, a 3-year-old? I knew you were going to say that. Well, that will be a strikeout, as that will be a swing and a miss. Hans Kraus gets his second one of the night. And here is Spencer Nivens. Here's the pitch. And that's a circle change outside, 1-0. So far after tonight, one more game between these two ball clubs starting tomorrow night at 6. Actually, we go up to 7 o'clock on the final game. And then Tuesday through Sunday next week we're in Springfield. And that is out number 2 as Nivens is out by that ground ball to the first base area. Here is center fielder Esbel Gonzalez as he'll lead it off back to the lineup card for Northwest Arkansas. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's a base hit right there past the first baseman, Sanabria. And boy, that's a 2-out single for Gonzalez. Man, that really got past him. It was like the leadoff start to the ball game as that got past the third baseman. Yeah, it sure did. That sneaks right by him for that base hit. Well, so far, a fielder's choice of run is 0 for 1 by Vaz. Boy, next year going to be a good year for San Antonio. Having Arkansas, Tulsa, Northwest Arkansas, and Springfield come to town. San Antonio goes to Northwest Arkansas after 5 years. Wow. Been a long time since we've been to Riverboat Field. Now, the only Texas League team that San Antonio does not travel to is Tulsa. The 0-2. And that one fell. It's 0-2. So no DCJ Field next year. Basically, Drillers play everybody except San Antonio, but they'll greet each other here in the Missions area. 1 ball and 2 strikes account. Can we go ahead and give the Tulsa Drillers their schedule here on this channel? Sure. Let me go ahead and we'll get you going as we'll lead it off for that. Or you could do that because you're the computer expert. So go ahead and type in whatever you want. Yeah. So, yes, anyway, you could do that. I'm trying to get this keyboard over here. It won't cooperate with me. Okay. Here's the 1-2 offering.
That's a balk.
And that's going to be a balk now. That'll be a runner at second base before the 1-2 pitch. Well, 1-2 pitch, I should say. But anyway, yes, we will go most definitely to...
That's a balk.
And that's another balk. Boy, tell you one thing, just crazy as it is. 1-2 the count now, a 4th run for Northwest Arkansas getting ready to go.
No, that's a ball.
Outside for the ball, 2-2. But yes, we will definitely give the schedule for Tulsa next year. 2-2. Right there, foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count, and here's the pitch. And that one foul. 2-2. Well, my friend up there at DCJ Field had a good time last night watching Amarillo and Tulsa go at it. But anyway, Amarillo won that ball game last night. Final score 6-0 Sod Poodles. Great game, I should say. I bet it was, especially with your friend being there in Tulsa. Yep. And that is right there called strike 3. They got him. Well, danger averted on a no run, on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We are 2.5. Northwest Arkansas leading at 3-0. Romeo Sanabria comes in, and we'll be right back here in the Missions Baseball Network. Well, about set to go for the bottom of the 2nd inning. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, that'll bring in Romeo Sanabria as he'll lead it off for San Antonio. 0-1 the count. First pitch in. Strike 1. Well, anyway, as we go for 50 years for the Tulsa Drillers, 1977 through 2027. Boy, 50 years there at DCJ Field in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They'll start a short 3-game series in Springfield, then 6 games against Wichita, Northwest Arkansas on the road, Arkansas for 6, and then Springfield for 6. Northwest Arkansas on May the 4th through the 9th for a 6-game series. 12 on the road, Corpus Christi and Frisco, and then 6 against Amarillo at home. Well, we'll have Northwest Arkansas for a leadoff 6, Wichita and Corpus Christi for 12 games, Springfield for 6, Frisco for 6, Wichita for 6, and then 4 days off starting in July. That is the 12th through the 15th. Tulsa Drillers will start a short 3-game series against Springfield. Then Midland for 6, Arkansas for 6, and then it'll be San Antonio for 6. Northwest Arkansas at home for 6, Arkansas for 6, Springfield for 6, Amarillo for 6, and then closing the 2027 regular season against Midland. And that is the Tulsa Drillers 2027 schedule right there. Wow, good job there, Johnny. Yep, thank you there, Bobby. Well, anyway, that would be the first strikeout on a 3-2 pitch by Romeo Sanabria. That's out number 1. The batter now is third baseman Clay Dungan. Dungan coming in, ready to go. Hits that one, and that's through for a hit. And San Antonio is not hitless anymore as they get a base hit to right field. And now the tying run for San Antonio comes in. That is the designated hitter, Kason Wells. Wells coming in, and that one, boy, did Jeff Andrews really call that a strike? Yes, he did. And indeed he did. That is a strike. Right there as we look at the instant replay from him. So no balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be right there. He stops at second for 1. And they get the force out at second. And boy, they tried to pick off 2 of those San Antonio missions at the same time. Yeah, they almost got both of them. There's one. I mean, you look at the instant replay there, Johnny. That was a good camera shot by our first base camera. That one is skied high in the air, straight away up to right field. And the right fielder tracks it down for out number 3. And that will do it. Boy, Northwest Arkansas avoids danger, as that will score no runs on a hit. No errors, 2 left. We go to the 3rd. Naturals lead it 3-0. Connor Scott, the 3-run homer, will come up to the plate next to lead off the 3rd. And we'll be right back here in this one. Well, we're just about set to go for the next half inning of Missions Baseball, and that is the third. Connor Scott, they'll lead it off. Johnny Baker, take it from here, buddy. Thank you there, Bobby. Connor Scott, the 3-run homer, comes up to the plate now for Northwest Arkansas. Third inning to go, and the slider in for a strike. It's 0-1. Boy, Krause is in disbelief because home plate umpire Jeff Andrews called that one a strike. He didn't think that was a strike, did he? Well, if you're a batter, that is not a good choice to argue with the home plate umpire about, because if you're calling balls as strikes, that is not really the job for a prospect. That's a job for an umpire behind the plate, not a player of the team. That is for sure there, Bobby. But we have seen it in the major leagues. We have seen it in the minor leagues where they get angry about the pitch call, and most evidently that's where ejections come in. I've said it time and time and time again. Through the years, you cannot argue balls and strikes just because you want to. That's not the player's job. That is for sure there, Johnny. You make a good point. 1-2 offering. High in the air, straightaway center. Under it is Kai Roberts making the play, out number 1. Well, I tell you one thing, it kind of reminded me, San Antonio was in Frisco one year. Yep. And somebody getting tossed, and I'm trying to think of his name. Who was it that got tossed there in Frisco? No balls, 1 strike to Austin Charles. And that one is outside. The count now 1-1. 41 pitches for our starter here tonight, Hans Krause, which this could be his final inning of work. And that one is pelted. That is deep, high in the air, and right to the back of the wall. Out number 2. Man, that was pretty weird. First baseman Brett Squires coming in. Here's the pitch to him. And that one is going to go. And that is gone. And Northwest Arkansas strikes a single straightaway right field for Brett Squires. And it's now 4-0 Naturals. Boy, fans are really jumping for joy there in Springdale. Their Riverboat Field is, boy, tell you one thing, really good game brewing up for Northwest Arkansas. Well, there is going to be a mound visit now, as that's going to pretty much do for Hans Krause. So far, he's given up 4 runs as he started tonight for San Antonio. And now, early on, he says, adios. Yep. You give up 4, you're gone. Yep. Left-handed reliever Jamie Hitt on the mound for San Antonio, the 4-seamer. Sinker, changeup, slurve, cutter. 5 pitches to choose from in his scouting report, which that is pretty good. Sam Cosingham coming in now, number 18. And the pitch right there in the end for a strike. It's 0-1. Ground out is 0-1 by number 18. Well, no balls and 1 strike. Here is the 0-1.
No, that's outside.
And that one outside, 1-1. Boy, fans are really getting treated to a pretty good game tonight here in San Antonio. Fans watching from Northwest Arkansas. Right there as Castagnon flips it to Sanabria. That will do it. Well, a run comes in. Brett Squires puts that one out of reach. And now Northwest Arkansas leading 4-0 as we go bottom of the third. Coming up, Marcos Castagnon to lead it off in the bottom of the third inning coming up for San Antonio. Well, we lead it off for the bottom of the third for San Antonio. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Marcos Castañon coming in as he'll lead it off here in the bottom of the third for San Antonio. First pitch in for a cold strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 offering. And that one is high and outside. That will go foul, 0-2. Boy, beautiful sunset tonight here in San Antonio. And gotta say that, wow. Ooh, ouch, that hit him. Okay, so now that'd be a runner up to first base as Castañon gets drilled by a pitch by Backway. But what I was going to say was when my friend was at DCJ Field there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, boy, the sunset looked really good. Yeah? Yeah, did you see these pictures? Oh, wow. That's amazing. Francisco Acuna coming in. Hits that one straight. Up to second for one. They relay it in time, and that's 2 down. And a double play gets snuffed out, and now that will erase the hit for San Antonio. Here's center fielder Kai Roberts, 0 for 1 flyout. Boy, you just don't see that quite often. Northwest Arkansas just really wowing the fans there in Springdale. But to tell you one thing, getting pretty interesting here at San Antonio. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. That one ricochet foul, and it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. And that one is outside, 2-2. Go behind the backstop. And that one is pelted high in the air, straightaway center. And that will do it. Well, no runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left. And we go to the 4th inning. Northwest Arkansas leading it 4-0. Well, about set to go for the 4th inning. Here is Blake Mitchell, the catcher, as we lead things off for the Northwest Arkansas 4th inning. Here's Blake Mitchell as he hits that one high fly in the air. And that one will drop out of play foul, 0-1. Great crowd on a Saturday night as fans loving the ball game and fireworks that will be after it. Yeah, I tell you one thing there, Johnny. The fireworks are a great specialty after a ball game. Well, so far with San Antonio having 2 more Saturday night here at home. This one.
Ball 1.
And that one is outside for ball 1, 1-2. I tell you one thing. How about Saturday and Sunday against Midland as we wrap up the series here at home and a 6-game series in Amarillo right after that. You know, there will always be fireworks shows there at Water Ridge Field in downtown Amarillo. Yeah, that's true. Nothing says fireworks is the best thing and going to a ball game and having the best night of your life. High in the air straight away. And right fielder Braden Carpathios runs it down. And that is out number 1. Well, so far, let's go ahead and give some scores. Boy, it's the bottom of the 6th inning. Wichita leading Frisco 7-3. It is, boy, top of the 8th inning. Corpus Christi leading 7-4 against Midland. Here's the pitch, and that one in for a strike. And it's 0-1. Daniel Vasquez coming in for Northwest Arkansas. Here is the pitch to him. And that one's going to be lined foul, 0-2. So far, a pretty good one here tonight there, Johnny, as we all look at it. It's always a good thing. Have I seen that computer buffer the live stream? Yep, I guess so. Well, that is down for Sanabria to pick out of the dirt, and there's 2 down.
Now batting, left fielder, number 19.
Well, Springfield and Arkansas delayed. Boy, thunderstorms going through All-American Ballpark there in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Spencer Nivens coming in as he drills that one high in the air. And the left fielder, Kai Murphy, runs it down, and that ends the half inning. Well, that's the danger averted for San Antonio to get out of the half inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on for the Naturals. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 4-0 Northwest Arkansas. Zachary Collier coming in as he'll do the scouting report in relief. It's a right-handed reliever on the mound for the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Leading things off here in the bottom of the 4th is the left fielder, Kai Murphy. 0 for 1 ground out as he comes in for the 4th for San Antonio. That one is right there. Ground ball, and that gets through for the line drive center field base hit. Boy, pretty good line drive for the left fielder, Kai Murphy. And, boy, the hitting coach, Bravo, is out there. That is Daniel Bravo, who is the acting assistant manager for the San Antonio Missions, which that is pretty good. Romeo Sanabria, the first baseman, coming up for the Missions. 1-0 offering, and that one outside, 2-0 the count. Two 2-0 offering. And that one is outside, 2-1. Two and one. Outside for ball 3. And on deck is Braden Carpathios. Ooh, he better be careful on ball 4 because he could walk a runner into scoring position. That is most definitely for sure. And right there, ball 4, he loses him on 5 pitches. Here is right fielder Braden Carpathios. Boy, you get the bases loaded, and then the tying run comes up to the plate. A grand slam would tie it up. That one is in for the code. Strike, 0-1. Well, how about a 3-run shot? That would at least let San Antonio trail by a 1. That is for sure. Right there. Up to second, and no play. And that second baseman is tagged with an E3 error. And now the bases are loaded for the Missions. Oh boy, that is a real boo-boo. Huh. As you said before there, Bobby, what do I look like? A 3-year-old or a 2-year-old or what? Phew. That is really funny there, Johnny. In for a code strike is third baseman Clay Duncan. As he comes in looking pretty snazzy. Boy, hoping for San Antonio to get on. That one high and outside. And it's 1-0. Or 1-1, I should say. Jeez. Oh, you think Zachary Collier's not going to have a good night if he gives up anything else, but I'll tell you one thing, he's got to focus that command on strike zone. Yeah, that is for sure there, Bobby. You know, a reliever comes in, and boy, tell you one thing, really rough around the edges. And here's the pitch as he goes. Here he comes to the plate, and that will score in the first run for the Missions on a sacrifice fly. And now San Antonio will trail the game 3. Well, really good right there as he came through, delivered a great one. It is. Designated hitter is Kason Wells. Wells coming in. Here's the pitch. High in the air, straightaway center. Runner goes. And he gets nabbed out at third. Big mistake there, and that will end the half inning. So it's 1 run, 2 hits, an error. And boy, tell you one thing, they leave 2 on base. We go to the 5th, and Northwest Arkansas leading it 4-1. Asbel Gonzalez will lead the 5th inning for Northwest Arkansas when we come back. Well, we lead things off here in the top of the fifth for Northwest Arkansas right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Asbel Gonzalez to lead it off to the top of the lineup for Northwest Arkansas. Thank you there, Bobby. The pitch is ricochet foul, 0-1. Well, we give our proud sponsors West Creek Trail Rides, the official partner and association of the San Antonio Missions. Make sure y'all check them out at westcreektrailrides.com. And that one is going to be a high fly by Asbel Gonzalez as he hits a home run. And now Northwest Arkansas will lead this game by a 4. And pretty good for the Naturals. Wow. 346 and 96.8 mile per hour to the exit velocity. Which that is pretty good. Well, Springfield and Arkansas's game has been suspended. They were the bottom half of the 7th inning. 1-1 the score. So there is no winner on that one. Phew, ouch. 1-0 offering. Swing and a miss, it's 1-1. Boy, not a good night for the Arkansas Travelers. Javier Vaz coming in.
Outside, ball 2.
And that's outside. Why they call that ball 2? That looked inside to me. Nope. It is not there, Johnny. Jeff Andrews must be in La La Land or something. You thought that was funny, right? Yes. No, you're funny there, Bobby. Oh, no, you're funny. Yeah, I guess I am. Well, I said if he was in La La Land, then he's in La La Land. Yep. Well, that will be the first out here in the 5th as Javier Vaz is down on the ground ball. To the second baseman, Castañon flips it to Sanabria. Connor Scott 1 for 2 with 3-run homer as he leaded it in the first inning. Here's the pitch. And that one is high fly. That'd go foul. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch to him. And that one's going to be right there. And that's a base hit over the third baseman's head. And that will be a 1-out single for Scott.
Now batting, third base.
Well, most evidently, I guess a doubleheader would be in the works for Springfield and Arkansas. After being rained out with the storms that went through the area tonight. I tell you one thing, just glad San Antonio ain't getting those severe thunderstorms right now. Not like they do in the North Division, and especially where Duncan lives. There in Tulsa. Here's a pitch. And that's going to be right there to second for 1. And they Taco Bell double play them. And the side is retired. Well, 1 run comes in to cross the score on a hit. No errors and nobody left. We go bottom of 5. It's 5-1 Northwest Arkansas.
Number 4.
Here's the catcher, Oswaldo Linares. We lead it off for the bottom of the 5th for San Antonio. That one ricochet foul. It's 0-1. So yes, the hard dedicated work of West Creek Trail Rides. Those even at the farm, a huge special shout out to those that work and most definitely keep the little ponies, and especially my little partner there, Bakani, getting in, and so far pretty good. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Linares. That one is high fly in the air to center field, getting shy of left, and that is out number 1. Well, the second baseman is Marcos Castañon. Northwest Arkansas leading 5-1 here in the bottom of 5. And here is the pitch. That's a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Boy, Corpus Christi leading 7-4 against Midland, top of the 9th. Wichita leading 7-5 against Frisco. And Amarillo leading 7-5 against Tulsa. Besides the point of view of that ball game last night, boy, Amarillo shut them down at 6-0, and that was the final score against the Amarillo Sod Poodles and Tulsa Drillers. Well, Northwest Arkansas's manager is out, and that's going to do for this reliever, as they will take him out of the ball game. This one. Well, Ben Karudna coming in now, as he'll be a right-handed reliever. Four-seam change-up slider and a two-seam fastball coming in. And so far, a new pitcher now on the mound for the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Ben Karudna throws his first pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Fly out and a ground out is 0 for 2. Gotta say, just a pretty good night thus far here in this one. The 0-1. And that one is pelted deep to left field. And it is going, and it's gone. Francisco Acuna, first home run today for San Antonio. And tell you one thing there, Johnny. He got it pretty good, and he hit it hard, really fast. Yeah, he sure did. Drone shot shows it right there. As it got into the lazy river. And tell you one thing, you know, a lot of people have been using that lazy river, which that's always good. Good thing we had one installed, and so far pretty good. That one up to the center field area. And that will do it. Well, Acuna strikes for 1 on a home run. And Northwest Arkansas leading it for 3 runs as we go to the 6th inning. We're back for more right after this. This proud broadcast brought to you in part by West Creek Trail Rides, Whataburger, Henry's Buffy Tacos, and the San Antonio Stock Show Rodeo. Get your tickets for 2027, as the opening day for that will be February 11th, 2027. As we show you the halfway through this game tonight, through the first 5 innings.
Leading off, first baseman, number 22.
Well, that will lead off the top of the 6th inning with number 22 to bat. Northwest Arkansas leading 5-2 against San Antonio. A good game here tonight. A good crowd on hand for tonight's fireworks show. And so far, pretty good. Here is first baseman Brett Squires as we are underway of the second half of this ball game. 1 ball, no strikes. Jamie hit at 23 pitches. Now that's a swing and a miss. Make it 24. Northwest Arkansas 5-2 against San Antonio. The Naturals out in front by 3. And that one is a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. By golly, just a good swing and a miss. And right there, a sinker right inside. And it's out number 1 for strike 3. Squires down for the first out of the inning. Here is Sam Gozingham. 0 for 2 and a ground out for number 18. Well, gotta say, that is just a sad ball game there at All-American Ballpark tonight. Springfield Cardinals and Arkansas Travelers getting rained out. That is a no bueno right there. Yeah, you're not kidding there, Johnny. That one is right there. The count now 0-2. Boy, you learn a little Spanish, don't you? Well, I learned that from my grandpa way back then. He would tell me, "¿Qué pasó?" No balls, 2 strikes. You know, he would talk a little Spanish every time we go to Brownwood, and he'd greet us at the door. He would talk a little Spanish, and he would tell us what he would say and what he meant by that. Yeah. You know, Grandpa would always teach us grandkids a lot of stuff, you know, good stuff, bad stuff, but tell you one thing, even he would say, you know, don't say any curse words, or you know what else you would get? What would that be? A soap sandwich. Ugh, yuck, nasty. Yeah, I would say the same thing there, Bobby. You know, one time my grandpa, it was my birthday, and Grandma would always say, "Hey, you know, how big of a piece of cake do you want?" He's like, "Oh, I'll take the whole thing." "Oh, really? You want that whole thing? Boy, you'd be asking for a lot of sugar. You'd be hyper like crazy today." Yep. Man, those were the good old days when Grandpa was around. Yep. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But I bet you have some pretty good stories about Ann, right, Bobby? Mm-hmm. I remember one time me and Ann, and we'll have to get back to you on that one as this half inning comes to an end. Well, that is for sure. Well, Murphy, Sanabria, and Carpathos lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. When we come back, Bobby's going to tell y'all a pretty good story. I hope you got one there, Bobby. Oh, yeah. Left fielder is Kai Murphy, 1 for 2 single. Okay, so, Bobby, you're going to say something about a story. What is it? Well, one time, me and Ann, I tell you, well, here's Hoffman and Mears, 2 right-handed natural relievers coming in. Well, okay, can I start now? Yeah, sure. Well, one time, me and my wife, Ann, we took a cruise, and it was my birthday, and, well, we wanted to go to Florida, but she wanted to go to Cayman Islands. Oh, wow. So, where did y'all go exactly? Well, we went all the way to Panama, which that was good. My friend Duncan is from Panama. Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. What, you didn't know that, did you? I did not know that. I learned something new today. Oh, man, Bobby. You crack me up, partner. Huh. Well, I think I do a good job at doing that, don't I? Uh-huh. Sanabria coming in, 1-1 the count. Good story there, Bobby. Oh, thank you. That one is lined high in the air, and boy, that is carrying well, and that's gonna get over the wall for the ground roll double for Sanabria. Boy, double meat cheeseburger coupons for that base hit from Romeo Sanabria. As the ground roll double is automatic, and that will award Romeo Sanabria to a second base area. Braden Carpathos coming in. We'll take that one outside 1-0. Strikeout fielder's choice 0 for 2 for San Antonio tonight. Is that right there a pretty good one indeed for the Missions? Here's the pitch. And that one's right there, right to the first base area. And that will move up the runner just 90 feet away from scoring in. Ooh-wee. They need a base hit right here, Johnny. Yep. Hopefully Clay Dungan could get something going. Sure, for sure. 1 for 1 single tonight. And here's the pitch. And that one ricochet foul, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Here is the 0-1 offering And that one's right there. He stops it, and that's the inning. Well, danger averted following in that ball that got out to the first baseman. Well, seventh inning coming up. Northwest Arkansas leading it by 3. It's 5-2. Well, we'll be right back as Daniel Vasquez will lead off the seventh inning for Northwest Arkansas. Be right back on the Saturday night broadcast. Well, we lead it off to the next half inning for the Missions Baseball Network. Daniel Vasquez to lead it off. Take it away there, Johnny. Thank you there, Bobby. Daniel Vasquez is 0 for 2 as we lead off the 7th inning. Sorry if we were away for a little while more, but most evidently we took a long break. And we are back here right now for the 7th inning. That one is fouled in the way. The count now 0-2. Midland and Corpus Christi called their game. The Hooks win it 7-5 against the Rockhounds there at Bayfront Park in Corpus Christi, Texas. No balls, 2 strikes, and that's a high pop-up straight away. Acuna is under it, shy of second base, and that is out number 1.
Now batting, left fielder, number 19.
Well, don't forget, these two teams conclude the series meetup of the year starting tomorrow night at 7:05. Sunday evening baseball. Here's a left fielder, Spencer Nivens. As that is in for a big strike 1. It's 0-1. But to tell you one thing, always a pretty good thing. We see these pitchers and batters come in. Here's the 0-1. That one ricochet found 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. And that one hard hit. Not enough to get away for Braden Carpathios to get. And that is 2 down. Center fielder is Espiel Gonzalez, 3 for 3, a home run, 2 singles, RBI, and 2 runs tonight for Northwest Arkansas. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that one is in for a strike. It's 0-1. Boy, so far so good for these 2 ball clubs. Can't wait till we play them 12 times next year.
Oh, no.
Excuse me. 1-1 the count now to Espiel Gonzalez as an automatic ball gets charged on the pitcher Jamie Hitt. And here's the 1-1 offering. And that one's going to be a high pop-up straight away as the left fielder Kai Murphy goes after it 1-2. I got to tell you one thing. It's nice to see these 2 teams getting going, but after tonight, after tomorrow, I should say, that no more North Division teams will come to San Antonio for the year. It's always good when you see a North Division, but next year, 4 of them will come to San Antonio next year. Yeah, and I cannot wait for Arkansas, Tulsa, Springfield, and Northwest Arkansas coming San Antonio next year. That'd be great, just to see something like that happen. Javier Vaz coming in. 2 outs, runner at second here in the 7th inning. And that one's going to get through for a pass ball. And now that'll put the runner to third on the wild pitch. Man, tell you one thing, you don't want to ever do that. No, you do not. Kind of a scoring opportunity for the opposing side. Oh, excuse me. Probably something in my throat. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch.
Yep.
And the slurve is inside. It's 1-1. Boy, so far a pretty good game here tonight in San Antonio. 5-2 is the score as Northwest Arkansas leading by 3. And right inside the chute is 1-2 to Javier Vaz, who was 0 for 3. Boy, Wichita leading 7-5 against the Frisco Rough Riders there at Statesman's Park. And that one is right there, intercepted by Francisco Acuna. And we go to the 7th inning stretch. So anyway, hope everybody has a pretty good time for the 7th inning stretch here in San Antonio tonight. And so far, we will take you there right now. Kason Wells will be the first one for the bottom of 7. The San Antonio Mission's coming up. Well, we're back as we get set to go for the bottom half of the 7th inning here in San Antonio tonight. And we welcome you after the 7th inning stretch. John Baker, take it away from here, Bobby. Yep, thank you there, brother. Kason Wells coming in as we lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. That one is fouled in the way. The count now 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch is a swing and a miss on a changeup. It's 0-2. Boy, Amarillo calls the game there in Tulsa. Final score, Sod Poodles 7, Tulsa Drillers 6. Boy, a good game there in Tulsa. Pretty good. Yeah, it is.
Number 4.
Well, the catcher now is Oswaldo Linares, who is 0 for 2 and 2 flyouts. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one outside is 1 ball and no strikes. So, Johnny, I got to say, you know, what would happen if San Antonio disappeared from the Texas League? Well, basically there, Bobby, it would be either going to Midland or moving to Oklahoma. Yeah, you would have a choice between Tulsa, wouldn't you? Shit, you betcha.
94.
I would love to see the Drillers come in contact of these ball clubs. Really good, but you know, San Antonio is not going anywhere. I mean, they're stuck in the Texas League for a long while. That is right there, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Now first and third. Boy, now the tying run is coming in, and Francisco Acuna coming in.
Acuna.
And so far, pretty good. Wichita leading 7-5 against Frisco. Bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the windup and the pitch. That one ricochet foul, 0-1. Tying run is Acuna, who was a solo shot in the 5th inning, 1 for 3. No balls and 1 strike. The count now to Acuna. Comes in, and that one is a ground ball right there. 2nd for 1. They relay it, and that in time, the inning comes to an over. Well, that was the danger averted for the 2nd time tonight. As we now head for the 8th inning, Northwest Arkansas leading it 5-2. Well, as we go to the 8th inning, we look at the first inning. 3-run shot by Connor Scott. As he came in and he pelted that one on a 3-run shot. And then getting another one, making it 4-0. Boy, a really good one indeed. As he'll lead it off. And that one's going to be line drive, and that one foul. And the count now 0-1. Boy, and so far that early lead gave Northwest Arkansas what they needed. And I bet you they'd have enough to win the ball game and hopefully get things going. You know, Northwest Arkansas winning last night 2-1, a close game against San Antonio. The third baseman is Austin Charles as he comes in. 1 for 3 double by the hot corner Northwest Arkansas third baseman. Jamie hit already now at 50 pitches. That one's is a high pop-up right to Braden Carpathios, and that is out number 2. Well, the Naturals down to their final 4 outs. San Antonio to their final 6. First baseman Brett Squires, who was 1 for 3. A double for him. And now it's going to be a high pop-up right there up to right field. Braden Carpathios puts this half inning to bed. Side retired. Well, it is no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for Northwest Arkansas. Boy, beautiful shot at downtown San Antonio as we go now to the bottom of the 8th inning. Right-handed reliever Nolan Hoffman is on at a good ERA, a 27 even, strikeout 28 and .6 percentage, 1,000 over to 400.
Center fielder.
Which he comes in for Northwest Arkansas. Ty Roberts 0 for 3, flied out in the first inning. Gotta say, just a beautiful night. The moon is halfway full tonight. That one ricochet foul, 0-1. Kind of sad we're down to our final 2 games of the year between these 2 ball clubs. Right there to third in time, and boy, he took it as the third baseman Charles intercepts it really good. Now the left fielder is Guy Murphy, 1 for 3 single. Boy, Wichita winning the final score 7-5 against the Frisco Rough Riders. 2 right-handed relievers warm up in the Naturals bullpen. That is MacArthur and Mears. Going to tell you one thing. It takes me back to a former San Antonio Mission called Joshua Mears. It was really good at the time when he was on the Mission's defense.
No.
But so far, a really good one. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count now. Hoffman on the mound for Northwest Arkansas. That one is high fly in the air and out of play. And still holding on at 1 ball and 2 strikes. They'll catch us in Springfield. A 6-game series next week. San Antonio Mission's on the road to Springfield. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. And here's the pitch. That one high fly. And that is up to the left field area as the left fielder runs it down for out number 2. Well, with 1 week fixing to close out, Springfield, Midland, and Amarillo down to the last 3 teams of this regular season. Playoff rounds are inbound middle half of September. And then the playoff rounds for the championship series determine our 2 winning teams that will face each other off in the end. Most evidently, 1 team will win it, 1 team will go down eliminated. The championship series will be concluded with a winning team. That one up to right field, that's a base hit. So 2-out single for Romeo Sanabria as he gets the first. But you know, it was like last year when we had our series there in Midland. Well, Springfield first, I should say. We had our first 2 games there in Springfield. Cardinals and Rockhounds tied it up at 1-1. Then Springfield went to Midland, and they won it. 2025 champions. Yeah, that was a pretty good championship series for the Springfield Cardinals. And gotta say, we don't forget about that. Not at all, not never. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one ricochet foul. It's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the knockout punch. Swing and a miss. Got him down. Ends the half inning, and that will come to a close. Now we go to the 9th inning. Northwest Arkansas leading it 3 runs ahead of San Antonio, 5-2. Well, the designated hitter comes in. 0 for 3. That is Sam Cosingham. 0 for 3 here tonight. Here's the windup and the pitch. Final inning of the night underway as that one is in for a strike. It's 0-1. 53 pitches for Jamie Hitt. He's on the mound in relief for San Antonio. And could he complete this last inning of work? I sure hope he can. Yeah, for sure, if he does get taken off the mound by the manager. Well, you do make a good point there, Bobby. That is hit high in the air to straightaway center field. Kai Roberts will intercept. And that is out number 1. Catcher Blake Mitchell coming in. 0 for 3 pop out in the first inning. 2 outs to go for Northwest Arkansas.
Strike.
And that one is in for a strike. It's 0-1. Pretty good homestand, and so far our two teams are back at it tomorrow for the last time these two teams in 2026 meet up. The 0-1. Outside 1-1. You know, always got to say these two teams have been really exceptional here in the Texas League, and so far San Antonio will play Northwest Arkansas for 12 times. They'll play them after the series in Amarillo. And then at the close end of 2027, as one more homestand for San Antonio is taking on Northwest Arkansas. And then the 6-game finale in Corpus Christi. 2 down as Mitchell goes down for the strikeout. That's the 4th one for Jamie Hitt. It's that right there. Pretty good, as now 2 away for Northwest Arkansas. Boy, just to tell you one thing, this game really interesting from the start. Here is Daniel Vasquez as he hits that one high in the air. And that's going to get down for a base hit. Runner goes to second on a 2-out double.
Now batting, left fielder, number 19.
Boy, pretty good line drive base hit. And so far, we look at it to the first base area, which that was really good there, Johnny. Yeah, it is. Well, in is Spencer Nivens. 0 for 3 of the night here in this one, and that one foul, 0-1. He grounded out in the second inning, is 0 for 3. Hopefully, Jamie Hitt could get one more out, and he would be done for the night. Here's the 0-2. And that's going to be right there and in for a base hit. And the runner heading from second going home. And now Northwest Arkansas will score in another one. That's a 4-run lead for the Naturals as it's 6-2. Asbel Gonzalez coming in. And so far now the manager is going to come out. And so far that will do for Jamie Hitt. They'll have a West Creek Trail Rides pitching change here. Number 30, done for the night. Now in for San Antonio is a new right-handed reliever, Johan Moreno, as he'll lead it off for the final out. And hopefully to close the door in this one. 4-seam sweeper, changeup, and a curveball coming in. Or should I say a sinker? Nope, it's a sinker. My eyes playing tricks on me. 4 for 4 is Asbel Gonzalez as he'll take a ball outside, 1-0 the count. 4 for 4, a home run, 2 singles, RBI, and 2 runs for Northwest Arkansas. By golly, I tell you one thing, always a pretty good thing that we see that. That one fouled in the way, the count now 1-1. One and two, the count now as that one gets fouled in the way. Boy, fans really on the edge of their seats. Hopefully they come back in the bottom of the ninth. High in the air is Marcos Castañon getting under it. And that's the half inning. Spencer Nivens getting a run across the score. And so far, a pretty good one as the Naturals will lead by 4. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Third baseman is Clay Dungan as he gets ready to go for this half inning. Last half of the ninth for San Antonio, and that one drills him. Ouch. Boy, that could have been a warning for Nolan Hoffman. Boy, I tell you one thing, home plate umpire Jeff Andrews should have called it a warning and a warning to the bullpens if anything like that was going to happen. That is for sure. Jason Wells coming in, comes after that one, and he swings after and misses. 0-1 the count. Seven, 8, 9 due up for San Antonio. That one's a ground ball. They get the force out, and that is out number 1. So the pitcher does not get in trouble for drilling the leadoff batter. But most evidently, that could have been costly if the manager would have saw that. Sure, I think a manager did see that there, Johnny. Well, I think you're right. No balls, 1 strike, and here's the pitch. And that one is going to be foul, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. And that is a swing and a miss, and they go down 2. And San Antonio down to the final out of the evening. Well, Northwest Arkansas is going to have a new pitching change. And so far, that is going to do here for the reliever. Now we'll turn it over to the Northwest Arkansas bullpen. Alinder Avila coming in now. 14 innings pitched, 1.29 ERA, 28.6 percentage in the strikeout rates. 192 over 087. He's got a 1-for-1 record with 13 games, which that right there pretty good. That one outside, 1 ball, no strikes as the first pitch to Marcos Castañon comes in 1 for 2.
That's a strike.
And the serve is in for a strike. It's 1-1. 2 strikes remaining. That's a high pop-up straight away. And Northwest Arkansas takes this one. Final score 6-2. And boy, the Naturals celebrating here tonight in San Antonio and Springdale. Boy, always something that you don't see every day, but this team, well done for tonight. 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. San Antonio 2-7-1. Zachary Collier gets the win, and Hans Kraus gets the loss. Well, one more game tomorrow night between the 2 ball clubs. And so far, cannot wait to join y'all for that live stream. Starting tomorrow evening, 7:05. And then it'll be time to have the off day and head to Springfield right after that. Well, yes, let's go ahead and get the final scores going in for this Saturday night. Yeah, we got the post-game fireworks going as we get ready to go. And fans, boy, yeah, those fireworks are going. Well, let's go for it. Amarillo takes a 7-6 victory. Now they lead 2.5 games against the Frisco Rough Riders. Boy, that would put Tulsa down to 75-44 of the year. What's that right there? A pretty good one. Wichita takes that game. They will move up 53 against the Frisco Rough Riders. Frisco will drop to 61-57. Northwest Arkansas takes the game in San Antonio by a final score of 6-2. And that would put the Missions down 56-63. Well, Corpus Christi now picking up a win against Midland. Well, the final score Corpus Christi 7, Rockhounds 5. So Midland will be 56 and 61, Corpus Christi 55 and 64. Well, I would say for Springfield and Northwest Arkansas, the game was a draw. So most evidently, that was rough around the, rough around the edges. That one team did not win in that ball game. Well, anyway, it does get postponed and might just have to make it up tomorrow evening. Last 3 innings and then 7-inning contest. That would definitely bring them up to at least, for a full day's work, that's at least 11 innings right there. Well, pretty much I think you would be right there, Johnny. Well, I don't know about that there, Bobby. We would have to look and see. Well, most evidently, we will check on the app and see what we would get. So it looks like they will continue that tomorrow afternoon, 12:05 against Springfield. So yes, the remainder of that game will be in conclusion tomorrow. And then Game 6, 1:35 against Springfield. Well, I will say, pretty good night for our ball clubs, and so far a pretty good one. Well, Amarillo will have a 12:05 start there in Tulsa, which that would be pretty good. Frisco, a 6:05 start against Wichita. San Antonio and Northwest Arkansas having a 7:05 first pitch tomorrow evening. Then one off day for a road travel tomorrow. Well, after tomorrow, I should say. San Antonio heads to Springfield. And then it'll be Midland, Tulsa taking on the Rockhounds. Wow. Well, always a good thing when you see something like that always come in. Well, fireworks still going on as we all look at it. Well, Midland will have 12 games left. They'll have a 6-game series against the Tulsa Drillers with a 6. That is starting on Tuesday, August 25th through the 30th. And then Tuesday, September 8th through the 13th. It'll be Corpus Christi there at Midland. Well, so far, pretty good one. Well, one more game with Northwest Arkansas. And then it'll be 6 against Midland. And then after that, that is our home games done for this year. And we're off to Amarillo. Anyway, hope y'all have a good night. And so far, we will see y'all again tomorrow night at 7:05, our first pitch against the visiting Northwest Arkansas Naturals. So y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all again soon.